This is amazing. A 40-pound vest. I can only imagine if it was 100 pounds, but it makes me want to do some movements and training.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder and the people that doubt him. Okay. Now, these people are certified people. All of them are trainers. And I've noticed that several trainers have came out and claimed that Deontay was numerous of things and none of the things were positive or uplifting. None of them were progressive. None of them were motivational. And these are some of the things that were said. Let's go backwards. Floyd Mayweather Sr. called him unfixable. Said he couldn't be fixed. There's nothing you can really do with him at this point of his career. And that's that. His old trainer, Mark Breland, claimed that he is untrainable. He said that, he doesn't want to be trained. He feels that he knows more than everybody else, so you can't teach a person that already knows everything, to say the least. Latest, you recently had Manny Robles that said that Deontay Wilder is shameful. And he said it was shameful due to certain things that he said about Mark Breland and how he could have handled it, and I think that's more of personality. But if you can focus on the first two, I can understand Mark Breland saying that, and a lot of people that would defend Wilder could say, well, hey, man, he used to train him and he got fired and he's just mad because he got fired. Yeah. You could say that. A lot of people respond in anger sometimes, but, give it a little while, I say. However, that does not excuse Floyd Mayweather Sr. What made Floyd say what he said about Deontay also? Right? He's unfixable. Now the question is, did they go too hard on Deontay Wilder? Is he untrainable? Is he unfixable? Is he shameful? Well, I can say this. I would agree with Manny Robles. He is shameful. It's shameful. Because he didn't have to conduct it that way. But I mean, this is Wilder. Wilder does what Wilder does. Born to be Wilder. That's Deontay Wilder. But unfixable, untrainable, he has to be able to open up. He has to be able to obey. And he has to be able to be consistent. If he's not able to do those things, then he is untrainable. Now, unfixable, that's like first cousin to untrainable, because you have to fix what's wrong with the person. And what's wrong with the person, if the flaws can't be fixed, if you can't train the person, you can't fix the person. You know what I'm saying? You can't fix something that don't want to be trained, because you have to train it in order to fix the problem. His problem was training. And I guarantee you this is my counterpunch. This is my theory on Deontay Wilder. You know what Wilder's problem was that night? Wilder didn't do the proper training that he took to beat Tyson Fury. He didn't have the proper training to even put on the suit. That's how out of shape that he was. The suit was a little heavy, okay? He didn't train like he's supposed to. He got hit, and the punch itself made him dizzy. So between him being undertrained, fatigued from being undertrained because he was wearing something that he wasn't even conditioned for, and getting hit upside the head, that was the result of him being the way that he was. That was the reason right there. Maybe Deontay Wilder might have had a concussion. People don't even think of that. People never think that Deontay Wilder could have got a concussion at that fight. You know what I mean? After all the doctors and all that shit that they claim they went to, that he had dents in his head, a dent in his head and his mandible and all that shit there, nobody ever brought up the possibility of having a concussion. It's crazy. Now, he talks a lot about giving people concussions. Like he mentioned, he gave Tyson Fury a concussion. But, of course, he never talks of the possibility of him having a concussion, but doesn't realize that him claiming that he has a dent in his head could result in a concussion. But you know why he doesn't bring that up? Because if he really had a concussion, that means that would explain the way he was acting. A damn concussion. Think about it. Concussions have you acting the way that he was acting. He didn't have his legs up under him. He felt weak. He was fatigued. He was flipping and flopping all over the place. His balance was totally off. That's the sign of concussion. But he doesn't want to admit that even if he did. You know why? Because he doesn't want to admit that Tyson Fury hit him hard enough to have a concussion. But the irony of it is, you're trying to convince everyone that he cheated with his gloves and had something in his gloves to hit you hard to cause all that to you. But then again, you turn around and say and shoot your own claim down by saying he didn't hurt me at all. Well, if he didn't hurt you at all, how can you claim he had something in his gloves? You see what I'm saying? It makes no sense what he does, why he's saying what he's saying. But back to the coaches. These coaches, Manny Robles, Floyd Mayweather Sr., not Jr., but Sr., and Mark Breland all say the same thing about him. Now, Mark, again, he might be compromised. You might say he's biased. Okay. But the other two, there's no excuse for it. These guys are outside looking in and seeing what a disgrace this is and seeing what type of fighter this fighter will never be. That's what they're doing. You know, but again, this didn't happen all at one time. This happened from last year to just recently, a couple weeks ago, to a couple days ago. So this is a trend of Deontay, you know, not being fixable or trainable. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about these coaches lining up against Deontay Wilder. Do you think Deontay Wilder is unfixable? Do you think Deontay Wilder is untrainable? And do you think Deontay Wilder is shameful? You guys let me know in the comments below. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.